heartening to see the amount of interest being generated all over the country, and I'm happy to be part of this webinar. Can you please share the further slides? I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, very much.
Yeah. So as we all know, sickle cell anemia is a genetic disorder and has a very prevalence all over the country. It's a major public health issue with more than 50% of the world sicklers being carriers in India. Gene prevalence in different tribal groups of India is 5 to 34%. And even in Gujarat, our study shows a prevalence of at least 10% in the tribal community. Next, please. It's a major health problem in tribal Gujarat. There are 12 districts, but the eastern tribal belt from Ambaji to Banaskantha in North Gujarat and from Dharampur to Valsad in South Gujarat, they are the majorly affected districts. Next, please. I'll share with you the progress of a sickle cell anemia control program. It started with 5 districts of South Gujarat in 2006. The most important part was it was a PPP basis, public-private partnership basis, because if we put the onus on the governments and public health authorities to do everything, I think we will very, very slowly on these fronts. So our experience of 15 years shows that being on a PPP basis makes it very effective and very fast also. So within 2 years, we extended to the remaining 7 tribal districts. So we could cover all 12 districts of Gujarat. In 2011, we got more organized. We had the formation of this Gujarat Sickle Cell Anemia Control Society, so that different departments working could integrate and they could complement each other's efforts rather than working in different directions and having different objectives. So with that in mind, we started in 2011, and last 10 years we have a tremendous progress. 2012, we outsourced screening to qualified, competent and dedicated agencies, because government doctors, medical colleges, our CHCs, they are all preoccupied with so much other medical work. So to expect from them community programs and large screening programs was something too much. So screening was outsourced to different agencies. And since 2015, we also initiated the prenatal diagnosis program. Since 2017, we are giving pneumococcal vaccine to all patients of sickle cell disease. Next, please. Objectives of our policy are to reduce burden of sickle cell disease and thereby increase productivity, longevity, and give a quality of life among the tribal population through screening practices throughout the life stages, followed with an early diagnosis, prompt treatment, and counseling is a very, very important part of our strategy for preventing transmission of disease to the next generation. Because as Dr. Gaurav was just mentioning, by 2015, we expect a huge number of patients all over the globe. But since last 5 years in Gujarat, we have already charted our course, and we plan to go very fast on it and see that less and less number of children are being born with sickle cell disease. Next, please. Outcomes could be measurable outcomes, which we look for are a zero sickle cell disease childbirth, prevention to a larger extent of deaths from crisis, also an improved health status and quality of life for all patients suffering from sickle cell disease. Next, please. The components of our program are early diagnosis of disease through antenatal screening, adolescent screening, newborn screening, and prenatal diagnosis, and prevention through marriage counseling. That means a premarital testing of the adolescents, college-going students, and counseling them for selecting a partner in the marriage, followed by genetic counseling and building community awareness, because largely earlier the literacy rate was also less amongst the tribal population. But now over the last 5 years, with many programs initiated by the government of Gujarat regarding improving the literacy rates, it has become more easier to get to the grassroots and explain to the young children and adolescents. So literacy also plays an important role in helping us build community awareness. Next, please. Uh, Now, how to target the reduction in crisis and mortality? It has to be through supportive treatment. Regular follow up and counseling is must. We have to give hydroxyurea to all indicated. Pneumonia is the main culprit. So, pneumococcal vaccination and follow up. And we have advanced tertiary care centers so that a center where a patient initially approaches and with developing complications, an early referral is possible, where the tertiary centers, which are well identified in advance, take care of the complications so that mortality is less. Along with that, we have a regular training program for healthcare providers, and we have, to a large extent, taken the services of ASHA workers. There have been various training programs for these ASHA workers so that they can spread the awareness regarding precautions to be taken by the sicklers, and as well as to avail of early treatment, recognition of crisis and all. So because they are on a door to door basis moving in the community, they have played a great role. All the members and even teachers have been counseled. We have prepared a very good program manual, which is very effective in imparting this training to all concerned. Next, please. Uh, Sickle cell card, everybody knows. When we do a screening program, we have this color coding so that they could easily understand. And they have been just counseled that a person with a half yellow card should not marry with another person having a half yellow card. Next, please. Uh, for couples where both our partners are positive, we offer them prenatal diagnosis. Prenatal diagnosis is done at two genetic labs. One is at Surat, which is a private lab, and another one is at Ahmedabad, which is managed by Indian Red Cross Society. Sampling is done by amniocentesis or CVS after informed consent. And Ahmedabad Center of Red Cross has done a huge work. We have screened almost 6 lakh pregnant ladies for both, I mean, thalassemia as well as sickle cell disease, and offered a prenatal diagnosis where both couples are carriers to approximately 2,000 couples. And from those, till I mean, the end of 2019, we could do abortions of 448 fetuses, both thalassemia as well as sickle. So it's a huge work. It's an ongoing work and needs a lot of concerted efforts at various levels. We also plan to develop a prenatal diagnosis center at Surat, because Surat is the center point in South Gujarat and also has very good facilities, so that the tribal people don't have to travel way back to Ahmedabad. They can avail services of a nearby place. Next, please. Uh, Regarding treatment being offered to patients, all patients are given totally free treatment at various levels at PHC, CHC, and district hospitals. Hydroxyurea is also given free. Pneumococcal vaccine is also given free. Blood transfusion is also free for all sickle cell patients. Besides that, there is a regular checkup. Uh, Even if they are not suffering from that, at Red Cross, we have a huge program where about 4,000 sickle cell disease patients, twice in a year on the Mamta Divas, they all attend the PHC, where our team it takes their samples, and we do a biochemical profile regarding to their HB levels, counts, their LFTs, their viral status. This is a routine, and out of those, we try to identify those requiring early management. All those reports, all the 4,000 reports, are being seen by experts at Ahmedabad, and there is an immediate telephonic guidance given to the patients in the needs as well as to the doctors at the peripheral, PHC, attending to these patients. So it's a mechanism of monitoring the patient to reduce their complications. We have also developed our own guidelines for primary, secondary, and tertiary level treatment. Counseling is done extensively for sickle cell patients. Also, folic acid is being given to all patients. Next, please. If we talk about performance indicators, We have screened more than 10 million population in the tribal area, out of which almost about a 7.5 lakh are carriers and 30,000 are diagnosed with the disease. 30,000 affected have been vaccinated for pneumococcal vaccine, and more than 3,400 patients were given treatment for crisis this year. More than 15,000 have been vaccinated for pneumococcal. Next, please. Talking about the salient points of our programs, we try to reach to the most vulnerable tribal population. We have a life cycle approach. Life cycle approach means during the various stages of lives of a person. That means in infancy, early childhood, adolescent, and adulthood. We approach them in different ways. We have regular doorstep counseling of the beneficiaries. Important aspect is a lot of NGOs have involved in this program, and that is one of the primary reasons. Apart from the political will, dedicated efforts by all in the ministry, and exclusive support of NHM. Dr. Vinita, I mean, she calls everybody doctor, so I think I also call her a doctor. She is the backbone of, I mean, our country will always be indebted to her for her efforts to improve the hemoglobinopathy situation in the country. So, with the active involvement of all, there is a community level involvement. There were times when our volunteers would be beaten up by the tribals just because they thought these people have come to suck our blood. But then gradually, with the efforts at the local sarpanch level, ASHA workers, PHC level, things have changed, and now the community is also involving very well. We have done a lot of capacity building at the government level, also at the staff of the NGO. Folic acid is also working very well, and hydroxyurea, of course, everybody knows, has great role to play as far as crisis with sickle cell is concerned. Next, please. So, how do we sustain this program? Uh, because projects start, but then they have to be sustained for long. So, initially, we started with an NGO participation, and now it has been integrated with the general health services through training and capacity building of government service providers. Approach of the program gives wider reach and long-term focus. There is demand generation from the community, because now the people themselves, the sufferers, they put up their request through the local authorities as well as to their elected representatives. That is the MLAs, and they demand that they create a demand for better services, and that also nudges us to do better. And we do a lot of training and capacity building of private service providers also, and there is a mass support to the program overall. That has made it sustainable. Next, please. uh, I would like to very well effort to say that our program is very much replicable at the national level, because in our country there are more than 10 crores of tribals, and thus could be a 10 lakh figure, although we don't have an exact data, but we can postulate the data and think that there would be 10 lakhs sickle cell disease patients. uh, Most tribal belts in India being an endemic area for malaria, different views among experts in the world regarding the disease, that makes it have our country centric approach. We should have a universal guideline, at least for our country, how to deal with the mild cases, how to deal with the moderate ones, how to deal with the severe ones. Like Dr. Gaurav said, there were only two patients from India in the whole lot they had. So we need to have a universal guideline, at least at our country, across the states, which would be very helpful in treating them better. There has to be convergence between different departments of government sectors and various dedicated NGOs, like Department of Tribal Affairs. I think they have a huge role to play along with the Department of Health and Family Welfare. The sickle cell anemia program has the potential of being taken up as a national program. Next, please. Sharing you some pictures of our screening camps and counseling sessions. Next, please. Thank you.